The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. We have Doug Urban and Kevin McConnell from Hanwha Solar. They're going to take you through some of the differences that Hanwha can make for you. As you know, this day and age, with all the things that are going on, it's very important to have a bankable company supplying your modules. So that's one of the things that you're going to learn about today. I'll hand it over to you guys, and thanks for doing this.
That's great. Thanks, Ed, and thanks everyone for joining us today. We'd love to tell you a little bit more about Hanwha, and before we do that, it's Kevin McConnell, by the way, Sales Director for Hanwha Solar Canada. Just a quick intro to our Managing Director and a few words from Doug Urban. Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, I'd first like to thank HES for this webinar opportunity. It's a great chance to speak directly to people that use our products. And I'd like to say a few words about the partnership with HES. First of all, HES and Hanwha were both very selective in forming this relationship. It didn't happen overnight. We were careful, and they were careful to choose correct partners. For our part, we were looking for a company that was stable. HES has been in business for 25 years, and that's very, very important to us. It's also shown very strong commitment to customers and shares our corporate and business values. And finally, we saw that HES added a great value to customers through skill and knowledge in the solar business. So for us, it was a question of whether or not to invest in a distribution model, because there was a lot of Wild West going on, and there is a lot of Wild West going on in the solar business. And was this what we wanted to do, hitch our wagon to one strong distributor? And we made that call, and we've done it, and we're very, very happy to have done it. We're hoping that the value, and as Kevin will show, that we add for HES and for HES customers is the strength of our business. That is our 60-year business history, continuous and long into the future. Our long-term commitment not only to the solar industry but to Ontario and to Canada. Our high-quality products, and I hope you'll find our customer responsiveness. So we've been very, very happy with this relationship, and would just like to thank HES again for this opportunity.
That's great. Thanks, Doug, and thanks everyone again for joining us. I think there's a few key elements we need to focus on. The idea and the premise behind the webinar is why Hanwha, and so our beginning is basically Hanwha Solar because we believe in very high quality. We have an industry-leading warranty. We're a highly bankable company, and we're dedicated to future innovation, and we demonstrate that quarter after quarter. So I'll get into that a little bit more about our innovation roadmap. I think it's really important to understand sort of exactly who Hanwha is, and Hanwha Group is a global Fortune 500 company. We've been in business for 60 years. We have about $88 billion in assets, and we're incredibly well diversified from petrochemical, finance, service industry, and leisure and industry as well. We were actually formed right after the Korean War, and we did a lot of work to actually rebuild South Korea after the war. That's where the company got its start. Since that time, we've diversified heavily into petrochemical through Hanwha Chemical. Financial services, we own a company called Korea Life, one of Asia's largest life insurers. They've recently been rebranded as Hanwha Life. We're very involved in engineering and construction worldwide through Hanwha E&C. We're presently doing an $8 billion build in Iraq. Hanwha E&C is also very involved in Western Canada in the petrochemical industry and building infrastructure there for the petrochemical industry. So we've been certainly in Canada for quite some time as well. We're very involved. We own a number of resorts worldwide. a lot of properties, as well. Energy, we began getting into energy a number of years ago, and this was a very important step for us. The son and the grandson of the person who started Hanwha Group basically identified solar energy as a future growth engine for the Hanwha Group. So if you look at Hanwha Solar, the solar component of the Hanwha Group, we're about a 3 gigawatt installed company. Together with our recent acquisition of Q-Cells, that would be somewhere around 6 or 7 gigawatts installed. We're a trusted, reliable module manufacturer for many other global brands that you all know of and probably maybe have even used from time to time in the past. We do a lot of global OEM for other manufacturers based on our strength and bankability. We have an industry-leading 12-year warranty on the product, as well as a 25 linear performance warranty. So our warranty is a very all-encompassing warranty and very, very good warranty for your clients. And it's something that you can really use the strength of when you're working with your clients. We're also very vertically integrated, our supply chain. We've recently invested about $14 million in a state-of-the-art R&D facility in California. We've got $36 million in the last year invested in solar technology companies in North America, and probably about another $500 million over the last year in other strategic partnerships and acquisitions. We have research and development as well as manufacturing in Korea, Germany, China, Malaysia, and our real focus is on commercialization and optimization. In other words, pushing efficiencies as high as possible and reducing costs at the same time. This is sort of an overview of our facilities worldwide, both R&D, sales and support facilities, and manufacturing facilities. So as you can see, we've pretty much got the globe covered. There's one dot missing. It's in Australia. We actually have offices there now. I think the only significant landmass we're not on is Greenland at this time, and probably won't be going there soon. But we're very well covered globally, right across with sales and support as well as manufacturing. So just a little sort of insight into our value chain, and this is a really important part because the Hanwha company, and I think we've got somewhere over 300 engineers in the Hanwha Solar group alone. We're very, very intimately involved, right from polysilicon to ingots and wafers to cells to modules, right into downstream partnerships, co-developments with people. We also manufacture EVA and backsheet and some of the equipment. So we really do have a very integrated value chain and a deep understanding of manufacturing solar modules. Our innovation is a really key element to Hanwha Solar. We've been developing a number of really interesting technologies that will be are market ready, and we'll probably see them in the next sort of 12 and 18 months. Everything from epi-thin to direct wafering. These reduce the costs, reduce waste, and increase efficiencies. As well, we're working on energy storage, commercial application, both utility, residential, commercial. So we're very involved in storage and optimization devices for storage, as well as working with downstream financing and investment opportunities. Because Hanwha is such a large, diverse company, we have the strength of Hanwha Chemical, Hanwha E&C, Korea Life, and a number of other companies who are very involved in working with partners to develop solar projects. Our roadmap in Ontario to modules, right now we're manufacturing Poly 245 and Poly 250. That very large portion of our portfolio is the Poly 250. By Q2, we will be developing as well a 255 poly. 1000 volt 60 cell, 1000 volt 72 cell, and as well a high output mono 60 cell in the range of 260 to 265 watts. So that's sort of our roadmap in Ontario for modules that we will have in 2013. And looking at some of our other markets, and really this speaks to innovation. So I'm going to mention some products that aren't presently involved in Ontario, but the importance of this discussion is sort of that we're not resting. We're certainly very active on innovation and always creating and investing in technology. So to that point, we have a DC optimized module that is an international module. It's not Ontario compliant at this time, as well as a microinverter module, quick install modules, and as well we have OptiWave, which is a system that boosts efficiencies about 1.6 times. So again, these are available in our international markets, not domestic content at this time. We were one of the first modules to pass the TUV long-term sequential testing. It's a very rigorous test. We passed this over a year ago. The importance of this test is essentially we sent the same group of modules, and rather than just one module going through one test, whether it would be water or pressure, the modules went through the entire battery of tests sequentially. So they were each subjected to all of the different tests, and that's unusual. That's unique. Normally, modules just go through one test, another module goes through the third test, etc. And these ones actually went through every single test. So that's a really big key for us. Is one of the very first modules to go through the long-term sequential test. Our warranty, again, I spoke to that a short time ago. We have a 12-year manufacturer's warranty, which is typically between 2 and 5 years longer than most folks in the industry. 25 linear performance warranty is becoming more common now. We had it very early on, and we really believe that what it does is it delivers more power, more guaranteed power to both the homeowner, commercial, or utility developer. So it's a really important step for us in recognizing the needs of the industry. As well, the performance nets you out at about 82% over 25 years, as opposed to about 80% with most standard warranties. We've got very predictable performance, very proven in the field performance. Our PTC ratios are typically above 90%, which is, as you see, a very good score. That puts us in the very top the group of companies manufacturing. Our PV system modeling has also been independent engineered and validated by SAIC RW Beck. So these are very accurate PV system modeling. As well, we have a very ongoing program with Go Solar California and our international modules with testing. So we're always making sure that we have current testing with their site. A number of our worldwide references. One of the things that Hanwha historically has done is been one of the go-to manufacturers for really big developers for the reason that we deliver very high bankability and trust to the financial institutions that are taking the risk on these projects. So we've been involved in some of the world's very biggest, Rovigo, which is a 70-megawatt facility in Italy, and then many other 30-megawatt and 20-megawatt facilities worldwide. As well, one of our flagship installations is in Sault Ste. Marie. It's a 70-megawatt facility. It was owned and developed by Q-Cells in partnership with Starwood. So these modules were manufactured by Hanwha using Q-Cells cells. So this was a 70-megawatt installation, and it started going in as RESOP in about 2009. there are 0 warranty claims on this system. As well, it's exceeding production guarantees by double digits. So it's a very very good, solid installation. Now, Hanwha got involved in solar roughly 5 years ago, and I was mentioning earlier the grandson and the son of the people that started Hanwha earmarked solar energy as the future growth engine. And one of the things Hanwha had always done is it had always been a business-to-business company and really had not done a lot of marketing of the Hanwha brand to the end consumer until solar. And it's very important for Hanwha to reach out to the end consumer through marketing in solar as one industry that's essential in. And so to that end, we've been very involved with San Francisco Giants. I don't know if anybody watched the World Series this year, but our home run tally at the end of the games was always very interesting to watch, and it created a huge donation for the Boys and Girls Club of San Francisco. So it also got us a lot of notoriety in the industry. A lot of folks were watching and noticing that Hanwha is involved, and it's really benefited our partners by putting our name out there. We're also involved with Caltech in sponsoring some of the space missions and technologies that they're developing. San Francisco Giants, I mentioned, we're involved very heavily with them. Also at Walt Disney World, we've got a home that's developed in partnership at Epcot called Innovention, Vision House at Innovention. So that's where our technology is featured on a home in Disney World. We were also partnered with about 5 or 6 professional soccer clubs around the world: Juventus, Bolton, Barcelona, Hamburg, and we're also sponsoring a number of golfers internationally. So we're really getting our name out there in the industry. Some of our strategic investments, I talked a little bit about this before, and the reason this is important is we've invested somewhere over $500 million in the last year alone. We're sort of going the other way from a lot of folks in the industry. We're developing technologies, we're developing partnerships and investing. So most of these strategic investments are regarding storage, increasing efficiencies, or decreasing costs through technology. Another one is Crystal Solar. Q-Cells has been our biggest acquisition in the last year. Q-Cells is a world leader in both technology and development of solar power sites and projects. They're widely recognized as the #1 name in solar. Our performance 18.5% on our modules. So we're integrating Hanwha and Q-Cells technologies. There's a good cross-pollination there. And over the next year, we'll be integrating the companies through a technology perspective even more. 10K Solar, another intervention that we're working with. Silent Power, again, energy storage company out of the U.S. that we're partnered with and invested in their technology. And One Roof Energy. The other company that we have created is Hanwha Solar Energy, and Hanwha Solar Energy is very active in the Americas, and essentially it's a co-developer and a partner to help get large power plants up and built. So we're often asked about bankability, and it's a bit of an enigma. The definition really is very simple, and it is what is acceptable to a bank. And as a company, what we're finding right now is the requirements of debt finance companies and financial institutions worldwide have a very high bar for what they want to take risk on. And this actually spills down to from very large projects to also small projects, residential projects as well. It's the same important fundamental is there. It's really who owns the risk on the project. And so our experience right now, and it's been evolving over the last year, is really that we're being told by a number of very large financial institutions around the world that Hanwha is considered the most bankable. We've been here for 60 years. We're going to be here in 25 years. So these banks and these financial institutions know where to find us. And that's really the key. It's a real fundamental thing. Where are you going to put your risk if you are a homeowner or if you are a banking institution and it's your money? And the important thing with that as well is how does that relate to an EPC company or an installer, electrical company? And really it's everybody shares in that risk. You know, if there are issues with projects or with modules over time, we all know the client is going to talk to the next person in the line, and that's often the installer. And the question is going to be, how can you fix my problem? So I think it's really important as well, right down to HES and all of HES's clients as well, that continuum of bankability is really important. The continuum of quality as well. It's very important. So I think that this is a really strong selling feature for clients in your marketplace as well. The other reason bankability is important is we know through a number of different reports that 34% of modules degrade faster than their warranty. And this isn't talked about all that often, but this is another reason why it's really important to have a bankable company behind your warranty. It's one thing to have a paper warranty, but it's a whole other thing to be there to represent it when needed. So this is a really important component. It's you know, a lot of folks believe that any old module will do, and in reality we know that 34% degrade faster than their warranty coverage, and there again the linkage back to quality and bankability is really important. Just another note on bankability, and when companies who are publicly traded take loans out, they're always public. It's always public knowledge, and recall a recent scenario where Hanwha took a loan out and a competitor almost the same week, and it was in I guess around $100 million in that ballpark, and that was a 9.5% to our competitor and about 3.3% to Hanwha based on our strength. So right now we look at it, the marketplace is very turbulent. A lot of companies are accumulating a lot of debt, and this is one of the reasons. Hanwha is a more efficient company based on its size and strength, and our debt-to-equity ratio is much healthier than our competition in the top 10 solar manufacturers globally. So some of the keys, again, I just wanted to confirm with about Hanwha, and like to open this up to some questions as well. You know, I think with Hanwha, it's very clear we have a very high quality product. We have an industry-leading warranty, and we're a very bankable company. We've also demonstrated that we're very dedicated to future innovation, and those are some of the keys from our perspective, and some of the things that we can offer everybody here in terms of a module supplier. I believe we bring great strength and trust from a module manufacturer right to the commercial and residential homeowners. So I guess I'd be happy to take any questions at this point for either myself or for Doug Urban. And I appreciate everybody joining us for our dialogue.
Hey, Kevin, one here for yourself or Doug. It's regard to the frames on the modules. Hanwha seems to have a larger, more sturdy frame than the rest of the modules out there. Is there a particular reason for that?
Yeah, I think we'll have Doug field this question.
Well, we're in Ontario, and I think we see the static loading and snow loading and wind loading as a very serious factor. So in our selection of frames, we went for the 50 millimeter frames. If we ever deviate from the 50 millimeter frames, it will be with frames that have superior performance to those frames, and in some cases that's done through finite element analysis and those kinds of high math things. But I think the point is that we focused on Ontario and the requirements of Ontario. Those frames have a ergonometric feel that people like. You grab them and they don't move. We've had lots of very good feedback on that.
Yeah, I guess, and my comment as well would be the strength of a module is really defined by its frame. And so one area that, as a manufacturer, if you want to save money, it's often on the frames. Our goal is not to produce a lower quality product. It's to produce a high quality product that's going to stand the test of time. And that's why we've gone with a 50 mil frame. It's especially important in this in our wind and snow loads in Ontario. And it really does give you extra rigidity. If you pick one up, you will really notice the difference.
Another one here for you. On your forecasting, you had some different size modules, but what about black framed? Is that in the foreseeable future?
Well, black frames are available internationally, and right now in Ontario, we just have not had the demand that we would like to see for running a black frame module. However, I should say that we would certainly do that if we had the volume, and that's something that we would certainly like to work with you on and get a sense of what your market is looking for, and if there's a decent enough requirement there, we would certainly consider running a black framed module.
Yeah, and where we see it right now is, there's lots of people who say it would be nice to have, but when they see the price difference to produce a black frame, then they're not as interested. So
yeah, I mean, it's
the demand right now is very low.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what our sense is. And remember, it's the frames are coming from abroad, and there's a lot of timing and volume that's required to do that efficiently and deliver a good price to the end customer. So at this time, it's a little difficult in Ontario, and I think most folks are realizing that that black frame module is not enough demand at this point, but we would certainly revisit it on an ongoing basis.
Okay, next one. I think you covered this one, but it's how does your warranty stack up against some of the other competitors?
The difference, of course, the numbers in the warranty are different. We've got a 12-year workmanship warranty, which is, I think, still better than anyone else's, and we also led with that warranty. But the real difference is still the company behind the warranty, and that, to put it bluntly, if you're looking for us in 25 years, you're going to find us. And we know you're going to find us, and that's what one of the reasons why we absolutely never compromise on quality. So it's really the company behind the warranty that differentiates the warranty. Kevin may have something to add.
Yeah, I think that's true, and it really is the company behind the warranty. We're a very committed company. We've been in business for 60 years, as we've mentioned, and it's easy to access our warranty as opposed to some other warranties out there that make it cumbersome. I think it stacks up very well, and as a matter of fact, I think it's at the top of the stack.
And we've seen numbers, and I won't quote, but it's very high percentages of solar players forecast within the next 3 or 4 years to disappear from the market altogether, and we're growing. So I think that's the difference.
Yeah, it seems like the solar industry is going the same route as a lot of the electronics industries, where you started out with all these brands, and then all of a sudden you settle down to a small few.
Consolidate.
Yeah. If anybody, I forgot to mention this, some of you may be new to this and don't know how to ask questions, but if you do have a question, you have to actually type it in to your panel, and then we can ask it for you. So again, anybody who has questions, just go ahead and type those in.
Maybe, Ed, while we're waiting, Hanwha has already a very, very strong commitment to Canada. Kevin mentioned Hanwha E&C in Western Canada. We have a sister company in Ontario with a very large manufacturing plant in London making countertops. That's part of our chemical company. And there's plans for further development in Canada. So Hanwha is very heavily invested already. I think our plant in London is 180,000 square feet. And we're of course continuing that trend.
Yeah, so as a company, we've made a very big commitment to Canada, specifically Ontario. We've invested a couple of $100 million in that facility in London, Ontario, and I think we employ 120 people. Most of the product there ships to the south, to the U.S. for distribution. So we're very involved with both the provincial and federal governments and municipal government level in identifying London, Ontario. We could have set up anywhere in the world or anywhere in North America for that company, as 90% of the product actually goes to the U.S. But we chose Ontario, we chose Canada because we have a track record here. We've worked with, again, municipal, provincial governments and federal governments, and we've got about 60 different companies under the Hanwha group, and there are regular trade missions either from our company over here or from political or leaders going over to Korea to talk to our company and other companies about moving to Canada for manufacturing and that sort of thing. So we've got a good commitment to Ontario as well historically.
And I have to say, Kevin and I are both from Western Canada, so we're not Ontario-centric. If there's anyone there from Alberta or BC, we have modules in inventory in BC and Alberta. Those are our internationally or Asian manufactured modules. And we're also on committees with CanSIA as senior industry players to start developing the solar industry, particularly in Alberta, and influencing the provincial government and other agencies in Alberta to jumpstart the solar industry there. So we're quite proud to be on those committees and groups and helping to push the industry forward in the West.
Sorry, going back to the warranty a bit, a question about handling warranties and how the warranties actually handle if there was ever a problem. Sure.
Well, usually the route for handling warranty issues is, and Ed,
maybe I should answer that.
Yeah, no, but I'll just, it's really quite simple, but the warranty is you know, we're a very proactive company. We're very available to both your customers and you, Ed, and HES. And typically the way it would work is we have a module ready to go within 24 hours to site in most situations, and so we have a very good service level agreement with you, Ed, and that's what benefits your clients as well. So if you want to speak to the specifics on how that works, but I think the point is that we'll get you up and on your feet with a new module as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and usually we can turn around and ship that to you, you know, within a day or two, you know. So if there was ever a problem, you would report the problem to us, and we can coordinate very quickly with Hanwha to get you out a replacement module.
Yeah, we HES and Hanwha actually does most of the work for you in the back office. So most people out in the field or installers don't have to spend too much time with the headache of a return.
Okay, I don't see any more immediate questions. I guess it's time to thank you guys. Really appreciate that. Really informative and nice to see all the variety of things. Actually, there's a few things that I didn't even know about that you touched on that Hanwha is involved in. So that's really good to see, and I'm glad you could share it with us today.
Well, thank you, Ed, and I want to thank everyone who joined us. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys and your customers, and we're always available, so don't hesitate to reach out.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Look forward to the next time. Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.